John, what caught us a lot by surprise was apparently a minute before the non-waiver trade deadline expired at 4 o'clock, the Blue Jays made a deal and acquired Francisco Liriano for the Pirates for a couple prospects they got as well. For Drew Hutchison, because the Blue Jays eating around $18 million of Francisco Liriano's contract, and they also acquired longman Scott Feldman from the Houston Astros as well. What are your thoughts on those two moves specifically for the Jays?
Well, George, I would say this. I think that the Liriano trade, as you pointed out, was a little bit non-traditional, if you will, because I think when you look at the pitcher-for-pitcher transaction, I might actually say that Drew Hutchison is the better guy right now. Liriano leads the major leagues in walks this year. He's not having a very good season. Now, perhaps the Jays feel like they've seen something in his mechanics that maybe he needs a change of scenery, but he needs to get the walks under control immediately, because if there's one place that you cannot get away with walking guys and putting them on base, it's the American League East in Rogers Center, where you walk a guy or two and then all of a sudden you make a mistake and it's 3-0. So they've got to be certainly a lot better in terms of working with him on controlling the baseball. But I think, George, as you point out about the cash component of the deal, that was about the Jays effectively buying two prospects. I mean, they effectively bought two prospects with their ability to pay Liriano's salary. I think that the Pirates will probably tell you they gave up two prospects in return for salary relief. That was what they got out of the trade. The Pirates got out of the trade salary relief, and the Jays got two young prospects who certainly are not big name guys that I would know a ton about, but certainly they're people that the Jays feel that they can certainly help them in the future. And it was a very non-traditional August 1st or trade deadline trade, but one that I think as a result we'll probably be watching very closely here in the months and years to follow.
But John, people are upset in Pittsburgh that they gave away those two prospects, are they not?
Yes, because especially Pittsburgh, their fans, George, they're sort of well conditioned to have to rely on their young talent because of where they're at with their payroll. So, but again, I can see why both sides did it. I mean, and this is really the plan of Mark Shapiro and Ross Atkins in action. What they said last November when they arrived in town about the fact that they wanted to help replenish the Jays farm system, and this is a way that in this new baseball universe, George, where you can't just spend whatever you want on the draft or spend whatever you want internationally. You've got to effectively use. First of all, you have to just make your decisions based on the various amateur signing caps that exist. But then at the deadline, you have a chance to get creative and use players as if they're cash vouchers to buy prospects. That's exactly what they did in this case.